Most people go about the product manager job search completely wrong. They think that they can just update their resume and click the apply button on postings, get interviews, and then get an offer. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way. It's not that simple. And I was definitely one of those people when I first started out. In this video, I wanted to share the exact steps I took to go from someone who is getting rejection after rejection to someone who finally got their first PM offer. Watch this video till the end if you're struggling right now to get interviews and offers and you desperately want to learn what is the real game. The real game people have to play to get offers in today's competitive market. Okay, so let me take you back to the beginning. I was knee-deep in code building out iPhone apps. It was my entire world. I didn't go out much in college because I was obsessed with coding and making new features for my apps. As I tried to learn how to do different things, that's when it hit me. I stumbled upon product management. It sounded like some corporate buzzword, but I soon realized that it was a lot more than that. I got curious. What do product managers even do? And I did what any sane person would do, and I turned to YouTube. I found videos of associate PMs at Google. You know, the ones where they walk you through a day in the life in their beautiful headquarters with restaurants and nap pods and game rooms. It was like peeking into a whole new universe. The role seemed structured but creative. It also seemed technical but also people-oriented. I felt like it was the perfect blend of activities that I didn't know I needed in my life, and I was hooked. So I didn't just stop at the day-in-the-life videos on YouTube. I found courses on Udemy that taught the basics of product management. I learned about making product roadmaps, design, user experience, and analytics. The more I learned, the more I became obsessed with the idea of being a product manager after college. This was the moment where my whole career perspective really shifted. I literally could not think of another job that I wanted to do as much as product management. Now here's the thing. I was pumped about becoming a product manager, but I hit a wall. A big one. I had no contacts in the industry, and let's be real, my college wasn't exactly a feeder for tech giants. We're talking about a non-Ivy League liberal arts school with near zero alumni in the big tech space. I actually had an alumni who works at JP Morgan tell me, quote, "Oh, we don't accept anyone on our tech team outside of MIT and Stanford." Talk about feeling like a massive underdog. I felt so defeated after that alumni told me that. And those associate PM programs, they're like trying to get into Fort Knox. They're extremely competitive and have lower acceptance rates than Harvard or Yale or any Ivy League for that matter. It felt like everyone in those places had some sort of in that I just didn't have. It was extremely frustrating, but was I going to let that stop me? Absolutely not. So I did what many people in my shoes would do. I went to my college's career center and I told them that I wanted to become a product manager. I was immediately hit with another problem. They had never actually helped anyone else break into product management. Their specialties I found were investment banking, consulting, healthcare, and education jobs. They recommended that I go to career conferences, and they actually recommended I go to a nearby college that was more technical for the conferences. So I went to that career conference and I walked up to dozens of different companies in my button-down shirt. I handed them my resume that I had printed out on nice paper. I took their business cards, and I remember waiting in a massive line trying to talk to the recruiters at Google. Once I got to the front of the line, I was met with a super friendly recruiter. She took my resume and I got her card. I followed up with her immediately and I was so excited. Google. She responded with a link to apply, and after I did, I was rejected literally the next day. It was like getting punched in the stomach. That's when it hit me. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, that was the definition of insanity. I needed a game changer, a new strategy. It was time to rethink everything because the traditional path was not working out for me, and I was dreading the idea of working in any other role other than product management. So there I was, feeling like I'd just been knocked down by a heavyweight champ. That rejection from Google really stung. There's something about getting your hopes up only to have them dashed the very next day that really makes you stop and think. It wasn't just any rejection email. It felt like a loud, resounding no echoing through my entire plan to become a product manager. I started questioning everything. Was it my resume, my approach? Was I just not cut out for this? That could not be it. I knew I had what it took, but clearly something had to change. I realized then that just throwing my resume into the online void wasn't going to cut it. It was like trying to hit a bullseye in the dark, and I needed to turn the lights on. So I reached back out to more alumni from my college. Yeah, the same ones who were all about investment banking and consulting. But guess what? Among them, I found a few hidden gems who were willing to lend an ear and give me some advice. And this wasn't your run-of-the-mill, just keep trying pep talk. This was solid, actionable feedback on my resume, my approach, and my whole game plan. I started to see my mistakes. My resume, it was just a list of responsibilities, not a story of impact. It didn't say, hey, I'm a budding product manager ready to expand your company's success. It was more like, here's a bunch of stuff I did and I hope you like it. That had to change. I needed to tell a story, my story, in a way that screamed product manager. But the real game changer was realizing the power of networking and referrals. This wasn't just about who you knew. It was about who knew you. It's about making connections that mattered, that can vouch for you, that can open doors that no resume or online application ever will. So here's where things took a turn. I had this epiphany. I knew I had to get creative and be bold. It was like being in one of those escape rooms, where you have to go outside the box to find your way out. So I ditched the traditional apply and pray method. Instead, I started reaching out directly to the product teams at companies I dreamed of working for. Yeah, that's right, straight to the source. No middleman, no more waiting in line. It was bold and a bit scary, but hey, fortune favors the brave, right? And when I say I did my homework, I mean it. I didn't just send out generic, hi, I'd love to work with you messages. No way. I went very deep. I researched every person that I reached out to. I knew their projects, their challenges, their successes. When I wrote to them, it was personal. It was very specific. I made sure that they knew I wasn't just another face in the crowd. I was someone who could actually add real value to their teams. But here's the secret sauce. I didn't just talk about myself. I shared my portfolio of past projects. I'm talking about detailed case studies of the apps I built, the problems I'd solved, the unique perspectives that I could bring to the table. This wasn't just a resume, it was proof of what I could do, visual evidence of my passion and my skills. And then something amazing happened. Responses started trickling in. Real, meaningful responses, not just polite brush-offs, but genuine interest. It was like I'd unlocked a whole new level in this game. People were not just replying, they were engaging. We were having real conversations and discussions about the industry, about their work, and about how I could fit in. Now get this, these conversations, they turned into interviews. Not the typical formal, nerve-wracking interviews. These were conversations with people who I'd already knew to some extent, who were really interested in what I had to offer. And then the moment that I'd been working towards and dreaming of, an offer. And not just any offer, but an offer to be an associate PM at one of my dream companies, the very role I had set my sights on. It was more than just a job offer, it was really validation of all the hard work, the re-strategizing, and the relentless pursuit of my goal. So what's the moral of the story? Don't be afraid to change the game plan. If something is not working, pivot. Just like what a product manager would do if their product wasn't successful yet. They would step back, re-strategize, iterate, and then relaunch. And get personal, do your research, and most importantly, build out those genuine connections. That's not just a key to landing a job, it's the key to opening doors that you never knew existed. Since I went through that experience, I've spent the last 6 years refining my strategy down to an exact science. And now I coach people on how to do the same. If you're interested in learning more, click the link down below to learn the exact steps you need to take to land a PM offer in today's market. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love if you could drop a like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.